IGM supported the follow-up operations in the Philippines. So this resulted in a conviction.
It resulted in a conviction, Mr. President, but then again, we will note that that case, 2017, was half a decade before we passed the current law.
Yes.
And the technological environment ay nagbago na po ng malaki at mas mabilis pa mula po sa panahong iyon, Mr. President.
Yes, totoo yan. So, but just to put on record na it's been happening for a long time. So, I share the desire of the sponsor to update our law so that yung paggamit ng technology and talagang ginagamit na ngayon ng mga predators, makover din ng mga batas natin. So, and the final point is, the fifth point mentioned in the sponsorship speech was transforming existing offender registry into a Philippine Child Sex Offenders Registry that supports the investigation, prosecution, prevention, personnel screening, and certification in child-serving institutions and protection of children from repeated offenders. Kasi nakakarinig tayo ng kwento na yung the stories I've read, I don't know if Her Honor has any in the Philippines, but in the US, na-convict na sa isang state, tapos nagtatrabaho sa daycare sa ibang state. So that's why kailangan na share itong registry. Ito ho yung purpose nun, ano?
That is right,
Okay.
Mr. President.
Sige. So with that, having established that, now we have common goals here, I'll go into the details. We have a definition of terms, and for those who are are knowledgeable about the different kinds of crimes committed of this sexual nature and exploitative nature directed to children, there is this term called grooming. And Her Honor, just to get a quick answer from Her Honor, grooming is separately punishable under existing laws. Is that correct?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes. So yung grooming po, as currently defined, medyo isa-summarize ko na lang to kasi mahaba no? Refers to any deliberate act, repeated act, series of acts, or forms of communication done in person or through ICT directed at a child or somebody believed to be a child or their guardian, intended to build trust. Kasi yung objective mo is to perpetuate or facilitate a sexual activity. So, inaalagaan mo, nagpapaka-close ka sa kanya, ginigain mo yung confidence niya, para eventually, ang ultimate objective mo is to gain a chance to have sexual activity. Number 2 is producing, creating, disseminating itong forms of CSAM. Ito po yung mga exploitative materials na ipapakita mo rin sa bata or sa parents, tapos unti-unting parang sinasanay mo sila dun sa mga karumal-dumal na mga activities na gusto mong ma-normalize sa mga bata na yan. Number 3 is precisely the word normalizing. Normalizing sexual conversations, conducts, or content involving or directed at the children. And then number 4 is arranging, attempting to arrange or facilitating in-person or real-time contact, meeting or encounter with the child, where having regards to the acts or communication, the circumstance in which they occur, there is reasonable cause to believe that such contact is intended for any of the foregoing purposes. So, gusto mong makipag-meet para nga magawa mo to. Sorry, to be clear, this is the definition now in the bill of Her Honor, correct?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes. So this is on page 7 and page 7, section 3, letter O. Okay. So I would say there's a fairly similar definition under the existing law. I believe it's shorter. So this one, I believe the intention is to be more encompassing para yung nga karumal-dumal na intensyon makovered. Tama ho ba, Your
Tama po,
Honor?
Mr. President.
Okay,
Opo.
thank you. So, dito na po yung questions ko. Yung number 1, na yung purpose is to perpetrate or facilitate any sexual activity, wala ho kung issue dyan. Maganda ho ang pagkasulat niyan. Number 2, producing, creating, disseminating, or transmitting any form of CSAM. Ito po nga yung materials. Wala din tayong issue dyan. Sa number 3 and 4, I need to point out to Her Honor some concerns that we have, no? I'll start first with 4. Kasi po sa number 4, sabi dito, arranging, attempting to arrange, or facilitating in-person or real-time contact meeting or encounter with the child. So may I know from Her Honor, ano yung objective natin dito na makonsider natin na grooming yung nagsiset up ng meeting sa bata? Tama ho ba?
Iko-consider po yon, Mr. President, dun sa dulo nitong bahagi ng definition, when there is reasonable cause to believe that such contact is intended for any of the foregoing purposes. Ibig sabihin, yung pag-arrange, yung pag-attempt to arrange, yung pag-facilitate ng in-person o real-time contact meeting or encounter sa child ay dun papunta sa mga nauna. Papunta sa perpetrating or facilitating any sexual activity, papunta sa producing, creating, disseminating, or transmitting any form of CSIM, o papunta sa normalizing sexual conversations, conduct, or content involving or directed at the child, Mr. President.
Okay, sige. Naintindihan ko naman po yung purpose noon, no? Before I dissect that further, I just wanted to point out that napansin ko na dun sa dating definition natin ng grooming, okay. Doon sa dating definition ng grooming,
Yan po yung sabi. Ito po yung
sorry, I'm confused between our bill and the existing.
that's nice.
That's different.
This one. Yan po yung sabi.
Okay, thank you. Okay. In the existing law, grooming refers to predatory conduct, act or patterns of acts of establishing a relationship of trust or emotional connection by another, etc., etc. Medyo for me, napaka-importante yung word na predatory conduct kasi that shows na the accused is a predator. Ginagawa niyang victim yung bata. They're preying on the child. Ganun ho yun eh. Pero may reason ho ba na tinanggal yung word na predatory sa ating existing bill ngayon?
No particular reason, Mr. President, dahil klaro na nasa kaisipan pa rin nung panukala natin na persons who conduct these activities towards the children are preying upon them, Mr. President.
Sige, but Her Honor would not have any objections if ibalik natin yon kasi medyo concerned lang tayo na marami namang activities na walang mali siya and it could be they could be performing certain acts like arranging a meeting pero walang objective na masama and then sila ay wrongly accused naman. So if Her Honor, I'd like to hear Her Honor's position on maintaining the word predatory.
Pwede naman pong ibalik, Mr. President.
Okay. Ang sa akin lang naman po, I think Her Honor will agree that it's not naman the intention na ipakulong o kasuhan ng hindi tama yung wala namang sala o wala namang masamang intensyon. No? Wala naman tayong ganong
Definitely, Mr.
objective.
President, mayaman yung bawat seksyon at pati amyenda sa kasalukuyang batas sa usapin ng due process,
Oo.
Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. So to go back to that particular provision on arranging and attempting to arrange, ito naman ho ang i-discuss ko na principles of law. The revised penal code is very clear on the different stages of a crime. We have attempted, we have frustrated and consummated executions of the crime, no? And in some case, in the law is also very clear that these must be defined very carefully because otherwise you will be penalizing somebody for a crime that is not clearly defined. Kasi if you say it is a attempted homicide, frustrated homicide, and then it's consummated, medyo yung jurisprudence natin pagdating sa homicide is quite clear din naman. And so it leaves very little or almost no room for interpretation. So dito, there is also the use of the word attempting. arranging, attempting to arrange, or facilitating in-person or real-time contact. So ang question po natin sa sponsor ay, can she please explain paano mai-illustrate yung arranging at yung attempting to arrange an in-person meeting? Para pagdating sa law enforcers, clear sila if it is arranging or attempting to arrange.
Mr. President, gaya ng nabanggit ko po kanina, halimbawa yung phrase na attempting to arrange, kailangan nating ma-appreciate siya kakabit nung huling bahagi nitong definition na where there is reasonable cause to believe that such contact, kahit yung pag-attempt na mag-set up ng meeting sa pagitan ng bata o mga magulang niya at yung eventual na magpo-produce or gagamit ng CSAM, reasonable cause to believe that such contact is intended for any of the foregoing purposes. So may plano at kahit pa hindi matuloy at this point in time, pero may plano, may intensyon na biktimihin ang bata, mag-commit ng OSAIC laban sa kanya, mag-produce ng CSAM, gamit siya. Yan po ay ituturing na prohibited action. And pwede rin po nating halimbawa, iugnay itong definition ng grooming sa iba pang bahagi nung bill. Halimbawa tulad dun sa isang binanggit ng gentle lady, yung pagbuo ng isang child sex offender registry. Kung ang isang tao ay halimbawa nakalista na sa registry, kumbaga may kasaysayan na siya na ginawa ang OSAIC or gumawa ng CSAM, and then mag-a-attempt siya mag-arrange ng meeting sa isang bata or mga magulang niya para sa planong ulitin yung offense na iyon, then sakop na po siya sa prohibited actions. Basta may plano kahit hindi pa matuloy, Mr. President. Or if the gentle lady prefers, we can also remove that particular phrase of attempting to arrange. Though I would say arranging, for example, would go into logistics already, setting it up. Ang attempting, pwedeng imbitasyon na i-set up siya. Pwede rin po ito, Mr. President, makita sa mga text conversations o messaging apps. Nagsiset po ng petsa o ng oras. But again, Mr. President, pwede rin namang tanggalin yung phrase na yon na attempting to arrange kung mas gusto po ng gentle lady, Mr. President.
Sige. Yun lang naman po ang concern natin na hindi this law, if we would like to file a case against somebody for grooming, hindi ito matapon dahil hindi clearly defined, because these principles are very we have legal principles that are quite strong, no? Ito yung like void for vagueness doctrine. A penal statute must give persons of ordinary intelligence fair notice of what conduct is forbidden and must not leave law enforcement to the subject to be subjective on their interpretation. So yun lang naman talaga. Maganda yung examples na binigay ng ating sponsor, like yung logistics, pagka yung meron na pala siyang logistics for it. So I can't recall if Her Honor referred to that as already arranging.
Yes,
And then
Mr.
yung
President.
nakikipagkwentuhan pa lang, attempting to arrange. Hindi ko alam, pero I post this to Her Honor so that she can discern if it would be better, because I'll now point out another provision in a latter part of the bill.
What section is that?
Ayun. Under section 4, where we have
Yes, Mr. President, beginning to solicit any person.
Okay. So dito po sa letter M, Her Honor found it. So just
Yes.
for the record,
Thank you, Mr.
mine is page 17, line number 14. It says, to solicit, ito po yung mga prohibited acts, to solicit any person, including a law enforcement officer posing as a child or as a parent or guardian of a child, to create, produce, manufacture, transmit, distribute, etc., etc. The next sentence says, the offense under this paragraph shall be consummated by the act of solicitation or attempted solicitation, whether made in person or through a means of ICT. So it's very confusing, Madam Sponsor, kasi under criminal law kasi we have nga stages of the crime, no? Yung attempted, frustrated, and consummated. So, ito bang sinabi dito sa letter M na attempted solicitation, that in itself, sabi dito, the offense under this paragraph shall be consummated by the act of solicitation or attempted solicitation. So, sabi dito, consummated ang attempted solicitation. So, I'm so confused, Mr. President. Is it a consummated act? Is it an attempted act? Or is it a consummation of an attempted act? We have to be very clear about that because
Yes.
later on in the provisions of penalty, it also says that pag attempted, 1 penalty lower, pag consummated, it's the full penalty, and then pag frustrated, 1 penalty lower, pag attempted, 2 penalty lower. So, di ko na humasundan despite my being a lawyer kung ano ba to. Kasi you cannot have a crime that is both an attempt of another crime and a consummated crime in itself. I would be happy to be educated kung may ganon kasi wala pa ho tayong na-encounter na ganon.
Well, actually, Mr. President, this contemplates, for example, a sting operation. If the predator attempts to solicit, kahit po hindi natuloy yung sexual activity, it is already consummated. So ang krimen na nako-consummate ay yung mismong solicitation. So yung solicitation mismo
So it's
ang
not
krimen,
an
Mr.
attempted solicitation.
President.
It is the solicitation. Kasi you have to, if you want to make a crime for the act of attempting to solicit, then we have to define what is attempting to solicit that differentiates it from solicitation. Kasi you cannot have an act that is both nahirapan ako mag-explain kasi
Well,
ngayon pa
again,
lang ako
Ms.
naka-encounter
to
ng
assist
ganito.
the gentle lady, again, we can remove attempted solicitation, Mr. President.
Sige. So, I will leave that with Her Honor, no? Na paayos na lang siguro natin because again, criminal laws must be very carefully defined because if there is any way that the accused and their lawyers can say that it is vague, and as I said, yung principle of vagueness, I will just quote for the record, People versus Nazario, a statute is void for vagueness if men of common intelligence must necessarily guess at its application and differ as to its application. So, may mga ganun tayo jurisprudence. So, tas ilalaban syempre dyan yung presumption of innocence. Again, kakampi nyo ko dito, gusto ko talagang behind bars ang mga taong ganito, but I wouldn't want na makatago sila dahil yung mga definitions po natin ay hindi po klaro.
In fact, Mr. President, with the openness of this representation to further clarifications, kasabay po doon yung, kaya nga po, ina-update itong batas sa konteksto ng nag-develop na technological environment precisely para hindi makatakas sa batas yung mga bumibiktima sa mga bata natin, Mr.
So
President.
that's why we're happy that Her Honor is willing to take a look at this and clean it up with, I'm sure marami ho tayong mga law experts because I've worked with them over the years or over a decade ago, baka they can help improve the language na lang po. And then I'll give another scenario. Ito naman naisip ko lang, hindi ho ba ang AI is capable of having multiple conversations?
I suppose so, Mr. President.
Parang I think I've seen movies, no? I've seen stories about it. Di naman tayo expert, no? But karamihan ng mga sci-fi stories nakakatotoo eh. So, it is possible through the use of AI a potential offender or even a group of offenders, could be a syndicate, would be having multiple conversations with different children or guardians of the children. That is possible.
It is possible,
Yes.
Mr. President.
So, is this contemplated in the law, in the bill?
Multiple conversations by potential
By a person,
predators
a predator, or
with
a
potential
group of predators.
victims and their parents.
Oo.
It is contemplated, Mr. President, but for each individual suspect of violating the law against OSAEC and against CSAM,
In that
the
sense.
due process will
oo.
be applied, Mr. President.
The point I am trying to bring up here is that there may be room for a bigger penalty for that kind of like para bang it's one crime if it's a crime in itself if you commit homicide and then dalawang biktima yun, so you have 2 counts of homicide. Pero kung parang mass destruction, parang ganon, maybe we can ask the experts also kasi just like Her Honor, I'd like these people behind bars for the longest possible time, yung kung matataasan pa yung penalty because they're using technology to target even more victims, open po tayo dyan. I'll also study
So
on my
would I
own.
be open to that, Mr. President?
Yes.
Salamat sa gentle
Oo.
lady para doon.
Oo. Yun lang naman. Kasi naisip ko lang yung scenario na yun. Tapos chinecheck ko na tama naman kayo na, of course, on an individual basis, 10 or 100 kids yung nabiktima niya. Pero nga, because of the use of technology, with one press of the button, 10 na kaagad yung
Para
yung,
pong syndicated or large-scale crime, Mr.
oo,
President.
yes. So, yun naman yung point natin.
This is actually really great, Mr. President, because it is a huge problem.
Yes.
Yung mga bots na ginagamit para
Oo.
mag-communicate sa multiple children.
I mean,
so, salamat para
I can
doon,
just imagine na
gentle
baka
lady.
hindi na sila mag-abala to set this up, to groom. Baka yung grooming is all through technology na lang kasi iniintay na lang nila yung final outcome, di ba?
It could be, Mr. President, or baka ginagamit muna, yung mga nag-ooperate sa ganitong paraan, baka ginagamit muna yung mga bots to establish the initial contact.
Exactly, at
And
various
then mas
stages.
individualized yung grooming.
Correct.
Posibleng ganun din
Correct.
po, Mr. President.
Correct, Your Honor. So, yun lang naman na ma-consider ito.
Will
So,
do, Mr. President. At salamat po para doon.
Then I go to the next point. On item number, I think nandun na ako sa 4th, no? I'm referring to grooming pa rin. Item number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So number 3 naman tayo, yung normalizing sexual conversations, conducts, or content involving or directed at the child. So,
Sorry, Mr. President, that is still section 4, right?
the definition of term, section 3.
Definition. Okay.
Grooming,
Alright.
3O. Section 3O,
All right.
page 7.
Yes. Okay po.
So 3O, item number 3, normalizing sexual conversations, conduct, or content involving or directed at a child. So again, I'll if we look at the entire definition of grooming, ito nga yung mga deliberate acts directed at a child or the parent or guardian with the intention of gaining their trust, gaining access, exerting influence, for any of the following purposes. And then ano nga yung isa? To normalize sexual conversations, conduct, or content involving or directed at the child. So again, grooming lang ang pinag-uusapan natin, 'di ba? Sabi nga natin, hindi necessary sa grooming yung main objective nila, which is to have sexual activities or exploit the child sexually. By the mere fact na they are normalizing sexual conversations, etc., could be grooming in itself. Her Honor pointed out that the provision in the same subletter O on grooming says that for purposes of this act, grooming is deemed committed upon the performance of any such act. So yun na nga, yung normalizing sexual conversation, etc., even if none of the foregoing purposes is achieved. No sexual activity occurred. So yun nga yung sinasabi ko. Nasa batas naman, yung kung ano yung pagkaintindi ko, nakasulat naman doon. So, okay tayo dyan. Ang question ko po ay ito. There are instances in a normal and a professional setting where there would be conversations there would be sexual conversations, di naman conduct, pero sexual conversations between a child and an adult, no? Na normal naman. So obviously, if ang pinag-uusapan, and both Her Honor and I are advocates of the reproductive health law, na gusto natin na well-informed on an age-appropriate basis ang reproductive health information. So pag kinikwento sa teenage girls na huwag kayong gagawa ng ganito, itong ganito may lead to pregnancy and may even lead to the spread of sexually transmitted diseases, those conversations are normal. Hindi ho ba?
Yes,
And-
Mr. President. And I do agree with the gentle lady that I can see where her concern is also leading. This might tend to penalize even those positive sex education
Correct.
conversations with
Correct.
children. Ano
Correct.
po? Which is why also to meet the gentle lady halfway, we have prepared an amendment changing sexual to sexualized conversation so that it
okay.
means the sexualization of a child or to see a child as a
Maganda ho
sexual
yan.
object.
Maganda naman yung intention, pero nagmukha naman siyang pedophile. You know? So,
Aray.
how do you, this naman, how do you ensure na pag naman well-meant naman at walang mali siya talaga, hindi naman basta-basta, magkatampuhan lang, magalit lang si daughter-in-law, sabihin na, ay nako, ginugro mo yung anak ko. We also want to make sure that, and one of our advocacies also, Mr. President, is to ensure that, seniors as they grow older, are able to impart their knowledge with young people. And if part of that knowledge is, umiwas ka sa mga may bisyong tao, umiwas ka dyan sa mga gustong mag-take advantage sa'yo, and in the course of that very responsible discussion, they had a sexual conversation, we don't want that. So I
Yes,
like
Mr.
Her Honor
President.
some potential amendment, and we'll look at
Apo.
it and then maybe we can add on to it.
Yes, thank you for that, Mr. President. Certainly, madodraw natin yung line na sinasabi ng gentle lady between positive sex education conversations with children. That will not be covered definitely as a prohibited act. Lamang kung tumawid na nga dun sa papuntang pag-commit ng OSAEC laban sa bata or paggawa ng sisaek gamit yung batang yon. So I believe, Mr. President, that this amendment will draw that line very clearly, Mr. President.
Yeah, because at the proper time,
While Senator Pia is looking at her notes, so listening intently on the grooming and relating this to the recent violence, kasama ba dito sa bill yung grooming for violence?
Thank you so much for asking about that, Mr. President. Pagkatapos po ng clarificatory questions sa period of amendments, I will introduce some amendments para klarong in the wake of the terrible events sa Tacloban and possibly kung sa investigasyon lalabas sa Zamboanga, to put the tools that we are updating against OSAEC and CSAM, also within the mandate and the capacities ng mga investigative at law enforcement authorities who are working against NVE or nihilistic violent extremism, Mr. President.
Because the way I understand it, itong mga nihilistic violence, extremism, the way they operate is they groom innocent children to become violent. No?
That's
And
right, Mr. President.
yun ang nagiging daan nila to perpetuate violence. Although binabasa ko rin yung title ng bill, the title of the bill is strictly on sexual abuse and exploitation as well as child sexual abuse and exploitation materials.
Sa ngayon po, Mr. President.
Okay.
Opo,
Okay.
pero sa substitute bill, nagiging ano na po siya, Proposed Child Online Safety and Protection Act of 2026. And para lang po malinaw, yung pong mga provision laban sa recruitment for violence, we are proposing to put it in a separate section para hindi po maghalo sa OSAIC specific interventions.
So in
Mr.
other
President.
words, the title of the bill will also be amended to
Yes,
cover
Mr. President.
violence,
Opo, Mr.
among
President.
violence being perpetuated among our children.
That's right, Mr.
Okay.
President.
Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. Yes. I was going to save my comments on this topic till the end, no. But since the Senate President already mentioned it, we also support the need to have very strong legislation on this. We just ask the sponsor to tread with caution because again, we wouldn't want this to be thrown out because of a violation of any statutory principles. Her Honor's idea of amending the title is a good start for sure because so it can cover. But we'd like to also explore like specifically existing laws on OSAIC are specifically repealed. So all of this goes into the objective of the bill itself. So we would like, perhaps we could ask the support also of the parliamentary counseling to look at it and compare. I know that they have studied this situation and other bills that we have filed to really make sure that it's a strong measure, Mr. President. I'm also worried because it's 80 pages long. Baka meron tayong ma-miss doon, katulad nga ng mga attempting to frustrate, that medyo big issue po yun kasi big issue po yun for practicing lawyers. It's like a red flag for cases to get thrown out and I'm sure none of us would like that. So I would just like us to act with caution and I don't know, maybe in the meantime, we can also consider crafting bills. I also want to move with haste, but I also like to proceed with caution. So hindi ho tayo magkamali. Yun lang naman.
I appreciate that, Mr. President, from the gentle lady, na importanteng mabilis tayo dahil urgent yung mga situations. Pero kasabay nun, maingat po tayo at saka masinop sa trabaho natin. Which is why I wish to reassure the gentle lady and our whole chamber, Mr. President, that this is only RA 11930 being repealed through this substitute bill. Lahat pa po ng mga ibang batas which the gentle lady referred to and which are already useful and being used to combat OSAIC and CSAM ay hindi po naislabagin ng panukalang batas na ito. And we have taken the pains, of course, subject always to improvement with the amendments of the colleagues to make this bill consistent sa iba't ibang mga batas na umiiral na sa ngayon, Mr. President.
Including siguro po yung existing laws natin on violence against children kasi yun naman din ang sasagasaan. So, kailangan aralin ho natin lahat yon kung ano yung intention natin because there really are existing laws that may not cover the situations we encountered the last month, yesterday, but general provisions may capture similar situations covered by other laws. So, kung pwede lang maaral lang natin. Kasi I worry that in our desire to really address this, lahat naman po yata mapapa-oo talaga and ayaw naman natin talagang mawalang bisa ang effect ng law kung meron hong undefined. I will do my best to contribute but minsan hindi ko naman din kaya hong mahuli lahat. So, it needs to be a collective effort and it is a legal issue. So, we really need to consult our experts within the Senate and if there are also experts that Her Honor has in the crafting of this measure and now that it's going to be expanded, iba din. Yun lang naman po. I can move on.
Salamat. But to reassure the gentle lady, Mr. President, inaral na nga po ng Department of Justice na hindi po sasagasa sa anti-child abuse law itong panukala natin. Further, we also consulted already DOJ to make sure na yung measure as proposed magiging viable pareho laban sa OSAIC at laban sa NVE, Mr. President.
Thank you. That's good news. If Her Honor can share that so that we can study it even before it's presented, that will give us more time because wala naman tayong intention to delay but it may take me more than a few minutes to review this. So we'd appreciate it when the language is ready para makaprepare tayo.
Will do, Mr. President.
Thank you. I'll move on, Mr. President. Same topic pa rin, no? But at the proper time, I want to share with Her Honor na ganito po yung nature ng ibang amendments na gagawin natin to help really ensure that the provision of this, that this provision on grooming is very strong. We intend to propose provision to the effect that to determine whether an act or series of acts was intended for any of the foregoing purposes, among others, we would like to consider one, a request or instruction that the child keep the communication or the relationship that is being nurtured or developed a secret. Kasi yan po yung mga telltale signs na naku, may malisyosong intent ito, di ba? Similar to yung example ko kanina, if a responsible adult is really educating children on young people on how to protect themselves, hindi naman niya isisikreto yun, di ba? Unless, well, I don't know, I can also imagine a situation baka isikreto niya dahil baka magaling ang parents pa rin. So, that in itself may not be enough, no? Yung sabihin na isikreto. Pero medyo ano na yun, telling yun, na isikreto mo to. Then another would be a shift from public channels to private. So baka nag-meet yon sa public na gaming, public lang, chat-chat. O nag-shift tayo, dito tayo sa ibang channel mag-usap para tayo lang.
If I may, Mr. President, salamat
Yes.
sa gentle lady for mentioning that particular point dahil yun na nga po yung concern natin sa NVE na yung mga safe spaces natin dapat, whether games, messaging apps, other platforms, safe spaces as originally designed and operated, pinapasukan ng mga malign actors
Yeah.
to lure them out of those spaces
Yes.
away from any built-in safety mechanisms to spaces like in the previous hearing of the Senate Committee on Women on NVE, Messenger, dun nila ginugroom yung mga tao, mga bata rather, beyond the monitoring of parents, teachers, even government and other responsible and concerned adults, Mr. President.
Oo, tama ho yun. Kasi ganun ho talaga nangyayari doon, no? They lure them from the public spaces to the private. And then, yung iba pa nating mga suggestions na include is like, offer to provide gifts, an offer to provide favors, and then any efforts or proof na ina-isolate yung bata sa kanyang family or other institutions that provide supervision. So, I think marami dito sa nabanggit ko, at kaya ko din nabanggit kasi relevant din siya dun sa discussion natin with the Senate President na makukover din ba natin yung mga violence that were initiated or instigated online. Kasi
If I
parang ganito din yung modus eh.
But if I may qualify my response earlier, Mr. President, I agree in principle, gentle lady, pero magkukonsulta din po muna kami sa NCC o SAEC on this kasi baka mahirap kung i-require ito bilang element. Kung hindi mapatunayan itong element na to, walang grooming. So, I'll get back to the gentle lady about this
Well,
point of
yung language
consultation,
naman
Mr.
natin,
President.
at the proper time, but I can give an advance copy kasi draft pa lang to. Yung offhand na suggestion natin is the following may be considered in determining. Hindi naman
I would
hindi
appreciate
naman-
that, Mr.
Hindi
President.
naman na
Maybe.
kailangan nandyan. Pero ito kasi it gives you a flavor of ano yung environment na ginagalawan.
Possible indicators,
Oo.
Mr.
Like
President.
and not limited to this, no. Again, we also just don't want it to be meant to be abused kasi marami ding situation. It may not be government who intends to abuse it, but there may be personal altercations na sineset up yung tao. So kailangan maingat lang din naman tayo.
We recognize our distinguished minority leader, Senator Alan Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Magandang hapon. Mr. President, I'll not mention the reasons, but just for the record, I approached you earlier, approached the majority leader. There are some real issues, and I think all of us do want to work together to speed up the work, given not only the climate, but the number of problems affecting the country. People are looking at the Senate, and the minority, of course, joins the majority. In fact, we're willing to up our load in terms of committees, but of course, it's your call. So with that, Mr. President, may I read and then maybe per committee or have an omnibus motion at the end? with your permission, Mr. President.
Yes, we can do that. And thank you, Minority Leader, for the initiative to complete the members of our committees. And like you said, we had a conversation earlier on the various issues that will make the workload more efficient. Maraming
And
salamat.
the issues I mentioned would affect actually this, but since some of the issues have to be discussed further. Goals, innovation, and future thinking, Chairperson Senator Pia Cayetano, Villar Camille as Vice Chairperson, Padilla Robin Hood, and Legarda Loren, so 4 for the minority.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
For tourism, Marcoleta Rodante as chairperson, ex officio member Amy Marcos, vice chair Camille Villar, Legarda Loren, Go Christopher Lawrence, Villar Mark, and Padilla Robin Hood. So 7 out of 15 for the Committee on Tourism, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
Sir President, for basic education, recognizing the chairman, Chairman Bam Aquino. For the minority, Senator Amy, Senator Legarda, Senator Pia Cayetano, Senator Bongo, Senator Mark Villar, Senator Padilla, and Senator Villar Camille.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
For the record, that's 7 out of 15. For higher education, Mr. President, and technical education chaired by the former TESDA Secretary, Joel Villanueva, Marcos Aimee, Go, Bongo, Senator Legarda, Senator Mark Villar, Senator Padilla, Senator De La Rosa, Senator Marcoleta. So 7 out of 15.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
For the Committee on Labor, Chairperson Joel Villanueva, Marcos Aimee, Go, Christopher Lawrence, Villar Mark, Padilla Robin Hood, Legarda Loren, De La Rosa, and Estrada Jinggoy. So that's 7 out of 15.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
Sir President, for migrant workers, chaired by Senator Raffy Tulfo, Marcos Aimee, Go, Bongo, Villar Mark, Padilla, Robin Hood, De La Rosa, Camille Villar, and Marcoleta Rodante for 7 out of 15 members.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members duly elected.
For the Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, chaired by Senator Lacson, Marcos Aimee, Christopher Bongo, De La Rosa, Ronald, as vice chair, requesting as vice chairperson both Senator Go and Senator De La Rosa. Requesting, no. Padilla Robin Hood, Legarda Loren, so that's 5 out of 11 members.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
Mr. President, for the Committee on Rules, chaired by, of course, our distinguished Majority Leader, former Senate President Zubiri, Legarda Loren, Marcoleta Rodante, Senator Pia Cayetano, and Senator Aimee Marcos.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, members are duly elected.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I commit to keep talking to our Majority Leader over the weekend and yourself so that we can resolve all issues by Monday.
Maraming salamat to our Minority Leader. Yes, so the good
Thank you,
to
Mr.
the sponsor.
President.
Yeah.
Yes, in fact, Mr. President, meron akong maikling manifestasyon before we go into the clarificatory questions. Bago nga magsimula akong tumanggap ng ganyang clarificatory questions mula sa mga kasamahan ko sa Senado, let me put on record that since while we have introduced into this committee a substitute bill that incorporates amendments proposed by the agencies and key stakeholders after the committee report, a supervening event happened. Tacloban happened. At kahapon po, another horrific tragedy, this time in Ateneo de Zamboanga. 2 ang patay. Menor de edad. Yung isang namatay ay siyang namaril inside the classroom. Pagkatapos pa lamang ng Tacloban, my staff gathered anti-OSAIC stakeholders to ask an important question. Meron ba tayong pwedeng maipasok sa bill na ito na LEDAC priority, gaya ng sinabi niyo, Mr. President, at nasa advanced stage na, nagkagyat na matutugunan ang malaking problemang bunsod ng nihilistic violent extremism o NVE. Ito ngang phenomenon na may mga masasamang karakter online na nag-groom sa ating mga kabataan para gumawa ng mga kahindik-hindik na kasamaan. And the answer, Mr. President, is yes. Working together with DOJ and the NCC o SAEC, as well as with other relevant stakeholders, kagaya ng mga child protection NGOs, we were able to craft provisions that would amend the bill and provide our law enforcement authorities dealing with NVE the strong tools we provide for our anti-OSAIC work. These new amendments would allow the issuance of investigative subpoenas for subscriber and traffic data information, provide greater tools for wider intelligence gathering and undercover online operations, require the preservation of digital evidence, including the retention of this evidence to identify additional victims and suspects, allow the sharing of information across Philippine law enforcement and investigative agencies through a common information sharing architecture, and allow the direct cooperation with foreign law enforcement authorities when the case has a foreign nexus. At dahil ang mga magiging bagong pangalan ng bill ay Child Online Protection and Safety Act, bunsod na din sa pagkilala na ang online harm sa mga bata ay hindi lamang sexual. Germane po ang mga panukalang ito sa batas na ito. I believe the proper time to propose these amendments would be after the clarificatory questions of our fellow senators, and I am willing to do this then. A solution is forthcoming, Mr. President. I ask my colleagues once more to support the immediate passage of this measure. Let us save our children. With that preliminary manifestation, Mr. President, I'm now ready to receive the clarificatory questions of our colleagues, Mr. President.
Thank you for that, Senator Risa. And tama ho kayo na marami pong mga trahedya at karahasan na nakikita natin ngayon sa ating mga paaralan. At kami po tayo lahat ay nakikiramay sa mga pamilyang naapektuhan itong nangyari, itong trahedya sa Zamboanga City, kung saan 2 estudyante po ang nasawi. At isa rin po sa tinitignan ay yung impluwensya po ng internet, impluwensya ng social media, impluwensya nitong bagong tinatawag na nihilistic violence or NHE na nakita rin ho natin to sa insidente sa Tacloban. So ako ay sangayon po ako na gamitin natin itong pagkakataon na mahinto, maiwaksi, tuldukan na po itong impluwensya nitong nihilistic violence para hindi na humaulit sa ating mga kabataan at ating mga paaralan. So,
Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
yes, we
Mr.
recognize the gentleman from Bulacan.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. This is just a very short manifestation that I'd like to make, Mr. President. First of all, Mr. President, let me state for the record that I fully support the intention of our good sponsor and the statements made by our Senate President. Nakikiisa po tayo at nakikiramay sa trahedyang nangyari. Ngunit alam natin na may magagawa po tayo. And that's the reason why we are all here today, Mr. President. Just to also put on record, I associate myself with the statements made by the good Senator, Senator Pia Cayetano, that we were also part of the list of senators that would interpellate on this particular measure, but we decided to let it go without prejudice to asking questions during the period of amendments. And we are ready also, Mr. President, and we wanted to again support our colleagues in our quest to push for this landmark legislation that would help our young people, whom we believe are not only the hope of the nation but the owners of our future. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
President.
you. So will the gentleman also interpolate and proceed to amending the bill.
I'm more of going to introduce some amendments, Mr.
Okay.
President. Of course, to lay the ground, we'd like to
course.
ask some questions also.
Of
Thank
course.
you. Thank you,
All right.
Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Today, I rise for the families who will never hear again the footsteps of their children coming home from school. I also rise for the students who now carry the trauma of gunfire into the classrooms that should have been places of learning, friendship, and hope. And I rise because two horrific incidents within a matter of weeks have forced us to confront the question that this Senate can no longer postpone. When a firearm in the hands of an adult finds its way into the hands of a child, and that firearm is used to kill or seriously injure another person, where does responsibility begin and where does it end? Mr. President, on June 22, 2026, San Jose National High School in Tacloban became the scene of an unimaginable tragedy. Two minors entered their school armed with firearms. 3 students were killed, many others injured. The investigation subsequently traced one of the firearms to a police officer who was the aunt of one of the minor suspects. The government has rightly pursued the criminal accountability of those who committed the shooting, subject to our juvenile justice laws. But what about the adult who had the legal custody and responsibility for the firearm? At kahapon, August 18, 2026, muling nagimbal po ang ating bayan dahil isang school shooting incident sa Zamboanga City na naman. A junior high school student brought firearms into a school. 1 student was killed, the student perpetrator also died, 2 others were injured. Authorities reported that firearms belonging to the student's father, a Bureau of Customs official, were involved in the incident. Mr. President, 2 school shootings, 2 sets of children, 2 sets of families whose lives have been permanently changed. Aantayin pa ba natin na marami pang mag-aaral natin ng malalagas sa mga paaralan na dapat sana ay ikalawang tahanan ng ating mga anak? Dahil dito, Ginoong Pangulo, ako po ay maghahain ng panukalang batas na magpapanagot sa mga may-ari o may kustodiya ng baril na dahil sa kapabayaan nila ay nagamit ng isang menor de edad upang makapanakit o kumitil ng inosenteng buhay. Hinihiling ko po na pag-aralan po natin ito. Mr. President, this proposed measure is not about punishing an innocent person simply because a firearm was stolen, taken, or misused. It is about accountability when the evidence establishes that a firearm owner or lawful custodian failed to exercise the level of care reasonably expected of someone entrusted with an instrument capable of taking a human life. A firearm is not an ordinary possession, Mr. President. It is an instrument capable of causing death or serious injury within seconds. That is precisely why the state regulates its ownership, possession, licensing, registration, and safekeeping. Republic Act number 10591 already recognizes the importance of firearm ownership and imposes obligations relating to the lawful possession and safekeeping of firearms. But the recent events compel us to ask whether this existing framework is sufficient when a licensee fails to store a firearm, allowing a minor to gain access to it, and the firearm is subsequently used to cause serious injury or death. Sa ilalim po ng panukalang batas, kapag ang isang minor ay nakakuha ng access sa baril na rehistrado sa pangalan ng isang licensee at ginamit ito upang makapinsala o pumatay ng tao, ang may-ari ang siyang dapat magkaroon ng criminal liability. The responsibility to secure it remains. The bullet does not distinguish whether the firearm came from a private gun safe or a government armory. Death is death. A wounded child is a wounded child. Mr. Firearm owner understands that a firearm entrusted to them must never become an instrument of tragedy in the hands of a child. That is why I have filed several complementary measures to investigate these recent incidents and prevent similar tragedies from happening again. 1. Proposed Senate Resolution number 487 calling for an immediate investigation into the Tacloban shooting incident. Second, proposed Senate Resolution number 607 calling for the immediate investigation into the reported Zamboanga shooting incident. Third, Senate Bill 2411, School Security and Safety Act of 2026. A firearm is a responsibility, Mr. President, not a right without accountability. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at mga kasama.
Pangatlo po, hindi ho natin maaaring ipagwalang bahala ang dami ng insidente ng karahasan sa loob ng ating mga paaralan. Mr. President, mga kasama, kahapon po ng umaga, nakita ho natin, nabalitaan po nating lahat ang karahasang nangyari sa Ateneo de Zamboanga. Isang insidenteng dumurog sa ating puso at sa puso ng lahat ng mga magulang dito po sa ating bansa. Ito po ang pangalawang school shooting na naitala sa Pilipinas, kasabay ng dumaraming ulat ng karahasan sa iba't ibang paaralan nitong mga nakaraang buwan. Bilang isang magulang po, nakapanlulumo na ang espasyong dapat pinagmumulan ng pag-asa at pangarap ay nagiging lugar ng takot at karahasan. Lubos po tayo nakikiramay sa pamilya at kaibigan ng mga nasawi at sa buong komunidad ng naapektuhan sa insidenteng ito. Kailangan po ng agarang aksyon upang di na po ito maulit. Kailangan pong protektahan ang ating mga kabataan at tiyaking sapat ang mga sistema, suporta at pondong nakalaan para sa kanilang kaligtasan. Kailangan ho natin tiyakin na sapat ang mga batas, polisiya at programa upang mapanatiling ligtas ang ating mga paaralan. Nung nakaraang linggo po, inihain na po natin ang School Safety Act. Tinutugunan po nito ang school safety at mismo ang bullying na ayon po sa EDCOM ay isa sa mga pangunahing concern ng ating mga estudyante. Pinalalawak din po natin ang saklaw ng panukala upang tugunan ang mga panibagong hamon na kinakaharap ng ating mga guro at estudyante. Sa ilalim po ng panukalang ito, papalakasin po ang on- and off-campus security, palalawakin ang paggamit ng CCTV at iba pang angkop ng security measures, patitibayin ang emergency response protocols at palakasin ang mental health and psychosocial support para sa mga estudyante, guro at school personnel. At paigtingin ang koordinasyon sa pagitan ng mga paaralan, lokal na pamahalaan at law enforcement agencies. Mr. President, isa po ang School Safety Act sa mga pangunahing priority ng ating committee. Kasama po yan sa mga itatakel po natin sa mga susunod na linggo. In fact, I hope to sponsor this next week at umaasa po tayong magkakaisa ang Senado upang maisulong ang panukalang ito para sa kaligtasan ng ating mga estudyante.
Maraming salamat, Senator Bongo. We recognize the gentle lady from Panay Island, Senator Risa Hontiveros.
Salamat po, Mr. President. For the record lamang po, ang Philippine Pediatric Society ay nagre-rekomenda na children age 16 and younger should not have unsupervised access to social media. Inuudyok ng medical group na to ang mga magulang at guardians na aktibong mag-co-manage ng online accounts, magtakda ng clear boundaries, at protektahan yung mga vulnerable minors mula sa digital harms. Ang mga dahilan po nila, Mr. President, sa rekomendasyong ito ay kaugnay ng mental health risks, brain development, physical health, at saka high vulnerability. At ang proposed guidelines at mga aksyon na pinapanukala nila ay co-management, Senate discussions. Imagine, Mr. President, specifically binanggit nila po tayo, Senate discussions at saka stricter verification. So, ilan pong dagdag na inputs, Mr. President, sa patuloy nating pag-aaral, papaano tayo magpo-provide ng policy framework kaugnay ng social media at ang mga kabataang Pilipino. Salamat, Mr. President.
Maraming salamat, Senator Risa. At marami na hong pag-aaral na sinasabi na addictive ang social media. In fact, ang Facebook natalo recently in California, 'di ba? Senator Robin, at pinagmulta sila dahil nga addictive ang social media. In fact, tayo rin minsan hindi natin nararamdaman, scroll tayo ng scroll pala 3 oras na ang nangyayari. Lalo na mga bata na hindi pa develop yung kanilang cognitive skills. So maraming salamat, Senator Robin. We look forward to your sponsoring yung inyong panukala at maganda mapag-usapan na ho natin yan. Tumatayo ako ngayon upang makiramay sa mga pamilyang nawalan ng mahal sa buhay sa naganap na pamamaril sa Ateneo de Zamboanga Junior High School noong ika-18 ng Agosto. Nakikisa rin ako sa pagdadalamhati ng buong pamayanan ng Ateneo de Zamboanga University, lalo na ng mga mag-aaral, guro, kawani at mga pamilyang direktang naapektuhan ng trahedyang ito. 2 kabataan na naman ang nasawi sa isang insidente ng karahasan sa paaralan. Ang biktima at umano'y bumaril, parehong menor de edad. Ginong Pangulo, hindi lamang ito usapin ng seguridad sa paaralan. Inilalantad din nito ang agarang pangangailangan tugunan ang kalagayan at kapakanan ng ating mga kabataan, kabilang ang kanilang mental health at ang panganib na kinakaharap nila sa paaralan, sa tahanan at online. Nakapanghihina ng loob at nakakagalit ang trahedyang ito. Panahon nang gumawa tayo ng mas matatag at magkakaugnay na hakbang upang wakasan ang karahasan sa ating mga paaralan at matiyak na hindi na ito mauulit. Walang magulang ang dapat magatid sa kanyang anak sa paaralan ng may pangamba. Tulad ng mga simbahan, ang ating mga paaralan ay dapat ituring na sagradong lugar. Walang batang dapat magtago sa ilalim ng mesa dahil nangangamba siya para sa kanyang buhay. Schools are not battlefields. They are places where children should feel safe enough to learn, make friends, and imagine their future. Now, 2 young lives have been lost. Families have been plunged into grief, and a nation is left asking once again, how could this happen? Ang trahedyang naganap sa Ateneo de Zamboanga, ang pangalawang school shooting sa bansa kung saan ang shooter ay nagmumula sa kabataan sa loob ng ilang buwan. Mga kasama, alam kong kaisa tayong lahat sa layuning hindi dapat maulit ang ganitong karahasan sa anumang paaralan sa Pilipinas. Hindi na ito dapat ituring na isolated incidents. Kailangan na nating harapin ang katotohanan. Ang panganib na ito ay pumasok na sa ating mga silid-aralan at ito ay banta sa kinabukasan ng bawat Pilipino. Hindi dapat ito nangyayari sa ating kabataan. Kaya naman, buo ang aking suporta sa investigasyon ng Philippine National Police, ng DILG at ating mga law enforcement agencies. Kailangan nating malaman kung paano nakuha ng isang menor de edad ang baril, paano ito naipasok sa loob ng paaralan. Siyasatin natin ang bawat pagkukulang sa pag-iingat ng mga armas, sa seguridad at pagtugon sa mga babalang maaring hindi natin nakita bago ang insidente. Habang nagpapatuloy ang investigasyon, iwasan natin ang padalos-dalos na pagpapasya sa anumang konklusyon. Hanapin muna natin ang katotohanan at higit sa lahat, yakapin natin ng walang pag-aalinlangan ang buong komunidad ng Ateneo de Zamboanga. Thus, I urge the public to refrain from viewing, downloading, and sharing any live stream or recording of the incident. The circulation of such material deepens the trauma of the families and the school community and violates the dignity of the children involved. I also call for the full implementation of the Basic Education Mental Health Law, or RA 12080, I call for support and counseling to be given to the victims' families, students, and the entire community. Ginoong Pangulo, kailangan natin ng malawak at sistematikong pagtugon mula sa regulasyon sa pagkuha ng baril, inspeksyon at seguridad sa paaralan at maging ang pagsubaybay sa social media at mga marahas na content na maaring na-access ng kabataan online. We owe our children more than condolences after another tragedy. We owe them schools and communities where they can live, they can learn, live, play, and grow in peace. Pananugatan ng pamahalaan at ng buong lipunan ang kaligtasan ng ating kabataan. Hindi nating maaring hintayin may panibagong buhay na mawala bago tayo kumilos. Panahon na. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, our dear Senate President. We commiserate with our dear colleagues who mentioned a lot of initiatives that we are doing here in the Senate, Majority Leader, and that's the reason why we are all here today. Thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, before we recognize Senator Robin Hood Padilla, unless it's the same topic po.
Do we
Kasi
refer
para
or-
Yung referral will be later. Okay, maybe recognize the distinguished colleague, Senator Robin Padilla.
The distinguished gentleman from the great province of Camarines Norte and Nueva Ecija, the Honorable Gentleman Robin Hood Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo at sa ating pinunong mayorya. Gusto ko lamang pong sundan ang napakagandang talumpati ng ating Ginoong Pangulo ng Senado, Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, sapagkat Ginoong Pangulo, ako po mismo ay galing sa Zamboanga. Nung nangyari po ito, ako po ay nagtungo kaagad doon sapagkat napakadami pong lumabas na fake news. At bilang ako po ang itinalaga nyo na chairman ng public information at mass media, nagpunta po ako doon at nakipag-coordinate po ako sa paaralan at sa pulisya para po kaagad na maresolba kung ano yung mga fake news na lumalabas. Kasi marami po yan. May sinasabing 4 ang napatay, 9 ang nasaktan. Wala pong katotohanan yun. Ang totoo po ay 2 po ang namatay na atin pong mga kabataan at 1 pong babae ang nasugatan. Ang malungkot po dyan, Ginoong Pangulo, at nais ko pong iparating sa ating mga kasama na tunay po yung sinabi ng ating Ginoong Pangulo na may problema po tayo sa social media. Sapagkat yung pagkakagawa po nung bata ng kanyang video, naka-live po siya, Ginoong Pangulo. Ito po'y parang ginawa niyang game. Kung ano po yung nakikita natin na laro, ganun po niya ginawa. Pati po yung anggulo ng kamera, anggulo ng baril, pati po yung hingal. At hindi po rin kaila na doon po sa Tacloban, yung naganap po sa Tacloban, nabanggit na rin po yung true crime community. Ito po yung samahan sa dark web, sa internet, na nag-glorify po ng mga ganitong klaseng pangyayari. Na binibigyan po nila ng parang parangal pa yung mga kabataan na gumagawa ng ganito sa kanilang paaralan. Kaya po ang hiling ko sa ating mga kasama na kaagyat po nating maresolba kung ano, lidak po ito eh. Matagal na po itong natatandaan ko po, ito po'y sinuportahan din ng ating majority floor leader nung naandyan
source for Taiwan products. We offer apparel and accessories products. Request your quote on TaiwanTrade.com.
You don't deserve to settle, so play a game that won't either. We've introduced major changes to agents, weapons, and maps, and this is just the beginning. For the past 5 years, we made a promise to defy the limits, and we plan to keep it by bringing you new content, adjusting what's not working, or even reinventing things altogether. Most importantly, this is a competitive tactical shooter where abilities are there to help your gunplay shine, not to hog the spotlight. So we've made some changes to cut down on overall utility impact. Because when the odds are stacked against you, it should be your crispy aim and positioning that gives you a stronger fighting chance or the edge. And for maps, that's your playground, which means they should be as much fun as possible. So we've made some adjustments based on your play patterns to make it easier to express yourselves on the battlefield. The Valorant team is dedicated to growing better right alongside our players. And if that sounds good to you, come play.
Back and watch me speak, about to take over your screen. Talking bulls in 93, talking mama, I'm on TV. Y'all know all
Sa internet. Kaya ito po talaga, mga mahal kong kasama, ay iniimbitahan ko po kayo. Ako po kasi nagpunta doon. Talaga pong, pati po yung mga nakausap ko, mga bata doon, na nagkaroon ng trauma doon sa nangyaring insidente. Lahat po sila ay talagang nagsasabi na meron pong problema tayo sa internet. Diyan po sa social media. Kaya po next week, Ginoong Pangulo, bali po sa ating usapan, i-sponsoran ko na po yon. Dahil meron na po akong mga membro ng komite, hayaan niyo po ako ma-sponsoran po ang bill na ito next week. Yun lamang po, Ginoong Pangulo, maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Robin, at sigurado po bibigyan kayo ng priority para ma-sponsoran to. Matagal na ho nating inaantay to. Isa rin po ako sa may author or may lagda nitong panukalang batas na ito. At marami na pong mga pag-aaral, pananaliksik tungkol sa masamang impluensya ng social media sa ating mga kabataan. Hindi na itong debate sa Amerika, sa ibang bansa. Ito ay settled scientific research na. No, kaya maganda hong mapag-usapan na natin dito sa ating bulwagan para marinig natin yung mga bagay na nakakaapekto sa pag-iisip ng ating mga kabataan. Dahil ako naniniwala ang batang Pilipino hindi ho to violente. No, meron hong mga nakaka-impluwensya sa kanya kaya nagiging ganito po yung sitwasyon. Kaya maraming salamat sa inyong pag-sponsor nitong bill na ito.
Mr. President.
Yeah, we recognize Senator Joel
Yes,
Villanueva.
Mr. President, just a very quick manifestation in relation to this particular topic. In fact, Mr. President, when Senator Erwin Tulfo delivered his privilege speech, I wanted to interpolate, but due to a lot of agenda and issues at hand, and there are several members of this august chamber who wanted to deliver privilege speeches, I just thought that I will make a short manifestation. And I think this is very timely after hearing your privilege speech, Mr. President, after hearing Senator Padilla's statements. And I cannot agree more that this is very important. We have had a terrible, tragic incident that happened in Tacloban City. And a few weeks later, here we are again, Mr. President. And Mr. President, I thought it's important to note that news items like this is very important when it comes to delivering the news, whether you're in the media, mainstream media or social media. The protocols is very important. In fact, I was given a chance to speak a while ago with Senator Erwin Tulfo and ask him about his experiences in the as a media practitioner. And he made mention and told me about some protocols that need to be addressed, needed to be implemented, Mr. President. There are certain words that you cannot say, you cannot report just the way you want it to be reported. And as mentioned a while ago by the distinguished gentleman from Cam Norte and Nueva Ecija, Senator Padilla, yung pong pag-glorify, Mr. President, ng mga gawaing ito, dapat talagang sama-sama natin i-condemn itong ganitong uri ng marahas na gawain. Mr. President, this representation also filed the bill. Ito pong Smart Kids Act. Ito po yung Senate Bill number 2071. or the Safe Media Access and Responsible Technology for Kids in Digital Spaces. Sinisik po nito yung pag-create ng safer digital spaces for our children. And yung punto po natin dito is that it would bar children below 15 years of age from creating or maintaining accounts on social media platforms and other covered digital services. At ang enforcement po nito, Mr. President, is directed exclusively at platform operators. Sa platform operators and not children, Mr. President. Kasi itong platform operators, kung gagawa sila ng mga apps or anything na hindi safe or hindi man lang nila na pag-aralan kung papaanong gamitin or ano yung epekto nito sa ating mga kabataan, lalo na sa murang edad nila, hindi po pwedeng basta gamitin lamang at higit sa lahat pagkakitaan pa. Sir President, just to put on record, no, yung Bill 6 clear responsibilities for platform operators to build safer digital environments for our children. Yung content moderation, yung pong assurance ng mekanismo to prevent underage accounts, yung pag-conduct ng continuous risk assessments to detect yung po and pag-remove yung mga underage accounts, pag-submit ng annual transparency reports to the Department of Information and Communications Technology. In short, yung pag-protect po ng children's data, maging yung pag-protekta ng kanilang privacy, yung strict privacy safeguards. Ito yung nais natin. And at the end of the day, Mr. President, again, I call on everyone here, Mr. President, because I feel na yung after nung Tacloban incident, Mr. President, and sa mga pag-aaral and articles that I've encountered, yung pagre-report, yung pag-share ng fake news, yung maling pag-glorify ng ganitong klaseng karumal-dumal na kasuklam-suklam na gawain, iba po ang nagiging mensahe nito sa ilang mga kabataan natin. Kailangan talagang lahat po tayo strongly condemn these acts at sama-sama din po tayong mag-usisa, busisiin at pag-aralan mabuti kung anong pinakamagandang solusyon para ho sa ating mga kabataan, sapagkat muli, Ginoong Pangulo, hindi lang sila pag-asa ng ating bayan, sila po ang tunay na may-ari ng kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo, maraming salamat po sa ating mga kasamahan. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Senator Joel. At isa nga sa mga lumalabas ngayon na bagong impluensya, yung lumabas sa hearing ni Senator Risa, yung NHE, no, nihilistic violent extremism, no, na ito ay parang lumalabas ngayon sa mga games, sa mga violent games na linalaro ng ating mga kabataan. So isang bagay ito na dapat nating imbestigahan at pag-aralan na mabuti.
Yes, Mr. President, before we recognize Senator Christopher Bongo, ako din po, kung pwede, I'll just give a short manifestation. Matagal ko nang binabanggit po sa inyo to, Mr. Senate
Yes.
President, at mga kasama natin, na dapat na talaga pag-aralan na natin ang a ban on social media sa mga kabataan. As a matter of fact, 2 LEDAC ko na binanggit yan. And natuwa naman po ako dahil binanggit naman po ng ating Pangulo na dapat magkaroon ng malawakang pag-aral itong social media sa mga kabataan. Although it was a bit short of what we wanted to hear, I was hoping dun sa kanyang SONA, sasabihin niya talaga na magbibigay siya ng utos sa Kongreso na maglabas po ng isang social media ban law. It was short of saying that. But I think now with the rise in these school shootings, Mr. President, we have to take a hard look at this. At alam nyo po, ang dami pong kumakampi sa atin dyan. Lahat ng magulang nakausap ko. Nung panahon natin, Mr. President, nung panahon namin ni Senator JB, ang pinapanood namin noon, wala pang internet, pinapanood namin doon, Mazinger Z, Voltes 5, Grandizer, tsaka lahat, Dimos. Guy King, hindi ko kilala yung Ron the Flower Girl, pero yung pinapanood natin, wholesome na cartoons na Japanese, may mga theme pa yan eh. Kaya nga pinagbawal ng dating Pangulong Marcos yan kasi yung theme ng Voltes 5, yung kalaban, yung kalaban nila, Alien Bazinger, Yung emperor, na Bosemian Empire na para nakabantay sa lahat ng mga iba't ibang mga planeta. Pinagbawal po ni President Marcos kasi nag-addict po kami lahat dyan sa Voltes 5 niya. As a matter of fact, kami nga ni Senator JV, hanggang ngayon, we're still collectors of Voltes 5 toys. But it was harmless. It was harmless. Yes, it was good versus evil. Most of it was good versus evil. Tsaka maganda palaging end of the show, meron kang lesson learned, 'di ba? About family, about fighting for what you believe in, about fighting for what is right. Ngayon, yung pinapanood ng bata sa internet, puro mga kalokohan, tsaka yung mga pinaglalaro nila mga games, tama sinabi po ni Senator Robin Padilla, puro barilan. Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, pati very simple and parang mukhang simple game na Roadblocks, may violence din. And so, ngayon first-person view ang pagbabaril. They have a sight in their computer. They go around through their controls. They're shooting people who apparently some of them are their friends, mga barkada. Minsan, hindi mga barkada, mga ibang hindi mo kilala. Sa taga-ibang bansa, naglalaro kasama nila. It becomes so violent, Mr. President. And yung pushback, pag pinagalitan mo yung mga anak mo, nag-aaway, nagagalit sila, aawayin ka. No, it's okay. Talagang grabe yung violent reaction nila pag tinatanggal mo sila sa kanilang mga gadgets. So, Mr. President, I really feel that the times are changing. And I think we must also be attuned with the times. Alam mo, itong pag-ban sa social media, hindi lamang po ito unique sa atin. Halos buong Europa ay ginagawa na po ito. England, France, Spain, many other countries. Italy, I think also will all do a ban on social media for children below 16 years old. Sa United States, hindi pa ganun kalawak ang usapin na ito dahil syempre, dyan po galing lahat ng social media na yan. Lahat ng games doon galing sa United States. Masyadong mayaman yung mga may-ari nun. Talagang grabing lobbying nila. At ang kawawa ang mga developing countries katulad natin na talagang ang mga musmus ng ating bansa ay lagim talagang pasok na pasok at addicted dito sa mga social media games. Kaya nung napanood ko yung video ng bumabaril doon sa Zamboanga City, nagulat ako, parang ang Grand Theft Auto, parang Call of Duty na laro. Kala niya siguro laro lang ito. Hindi niya naintindihan yung consequences, yung taking a life and even taking his own life. May Allah have mercy on him. Diba? But to be honest, Mr. President, we're losing basic morality and basic decency dito sa social media na ito. So I support Senator Robin Padilla and all our colleagues here who push for social media ban. Yan ang kauna-unang post ko nung nangyari po yan, yung nakabarilan sa Zamboanga City. I posted, ban na tayo ng social media for kids. Let's do it. Let's put the political will, put our foot down and stop this nonsense that's going around the internet. I'm sure every one of you here who have children have gotten feedback from your kids. Pag sinabi mo, tama na yung cellphone, tama na yung computer, tama na yung iPad, inaaway na kayo ng mga anak nyo, ng mga bata, na parang sobrang addicted sila sa pinapanood nila dun sa social media. So, Mr. President, that is a very dangerous situation for our future, the future of mankind. Not only Filipinos, the future of mankind. Lalong-lalo na may AI na yun. Baka pati yung AI, makonvince na yung mga kabataan natin gumawa ng kalokohan. So, I support and I give my full support to the measures at hand to be able to do that. Yes, and also Senator Aimee. After Senator Aimee, of course, Senator Bongo.
Yes, we recognize the gentle lady from Ilocos Norte, Senator Aimee.
And afterwards also Senator Risa. Thank you.
Maraming salamat, Ginoong Pangulo, pati na rin ang ating majority. At bilang suporta at pagtatangkilik sa sinabi ni Senator Robin at Senator Erwin, Senator Risa, Senator Bam, Senator Migs, ako po'y Nagtataka kung bakit katakot-takot na naturuan ang nangyari. Tinuturo yung eskwela, yung mga guro na wala namang malay kung sino-sino na lang ang tinuro, pati yung LGU. Ang pinagtatakahan ko, bakit wala tayong naririnig sa mga regulatory agencies ng ating pamahalaan? Ang talagang nakatutok dapat dyan ay yung DICT. Pati na rin yung criminal investigation, yung CICC. Asa na sila? At bakit hindi sila nagsisikilos? Ganon din yung NTC, kasi kahit papano yung telecoms, may kinalaman dyan. Nagtataka rin ako, hindi rin kumikilos. Kapag may online selling, kasi kung minsan sa dark web man o sa internet mismo, meron rin mga binebenta. Kung kaya't kinakailangan yung DTI kumilos din. Nananawagan po ako na dapat lahat tayo ay kumilos dahil itong pangyayari ay hindi kauna-unahan at hindi rin siguro magiging kahuli-hulihan. Kailangan mahinto na ito sa lalong madaling panahon. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat, Senator Amy Marcos. We recognize the gentleman from Davao City, Senator Bongo.
Mr. President, I would like to associate myself with the speech of our Senate President Win Gatchalian, Senator Robin, Senator Tulfo, Senator Risa, Senator Amy, Senator Joel, Majority Floor Leader Senator Migs Subiri. Mr. President, I am deeply saddened and concerned by yet another shooting incident that took place inside our schools now in the campus of Ateneo de Zamboanga High School in Zamboanga City. Bilang chairman ng Senate Committee on Youth at isang Mindanaoan po, ako po'y nasasaktan sa mga nangyayari. Itong pangyayaring ito ay nangyari lang po recently sa Tacloban at ngayon naman po sa Mindanao, sa Zamboanga. Taos-puso po ako nakikiramay sa mga pamilya at mahal sa buhay ng mga biktima, kapwa sa mga nasawi at sa mga sugatang patuloy na nagpapagaling mula sa walang saysay na karahasang ito. We express our deepest condolences to the family. No parent should have to bury their child. Mr. President, ano na po ba ang nangyayari sa loob ng ating mga paaralan? Ano na po ba ang kinakaharap ng ating mga estudyante at kabataan? Sunod-sunod na po ito at nangangailangan ng tigilan mula sa isang mas malawak na perspektiba. It is also equally disturbing to hear reports that the alleged suspect took their own life following the tragic incident. I strongly call on the concerned authorities to conduct an immediate, thorough, and comprehensive investigation. We need clear answers to critical questions. What led to this incident? How was a firearm brought inside the school? How did a minor gain access to a gun? Were there lapses in the school's security measures and protocols? These questions must be addressed urgently, not only in my capacity as chairman of the Committee on Youth, but also as a parent who deeply cares about the safety and well-being of our children. Gaya ng paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, ang mga paaralan ay dapat manatiling zones of peace and learning. Ipinagkatiwala ng mga magulang ang kanilang mga anak sa mga guro at pamunuan ng paaralan dahil naniniwala sila na ligtas at inaalagaan ang kanilang mga anak. Hindi kailanman dapat mabahira ng takot o karahasan ang mga institusyong ito. This tragedy underscores the urgent need to review and strengthen our existing laws, policies, and safety protocols, including the Juvenile Justice and Welfare Act, gun control regulations, and school safety measures. If there are gaps in the system, we must address and correct them. During the hearing of the Committee on Women, chaired by Senator Risa Ontiveros, I have repeatedly emphasized that this incident should not be viewed merely as a peace and order concern. It is equally a youth welfare issue, a public health issue, and a challenge to our education system. Hindi lang ito usapin ng seguridad. Kailangan din na tingnan ang kalagayan ng ating mga kabataan. Mental health issue is real. Totoo po ito. In terms of mental health aspect, during a previous hearing of the Committee on Youth, we have raised that there are only about 4,069 licensed guidance counselors nationwide as of 2022. the country would need around 47,000 guidance counselors to meet the ideal ratio of 1 counselor for every 500 learners. It was also reported during the hearing that we have only 40 child psychiatrists in the Philippines. We really have a crisis in terms of our supply of mental health professionals. Crisis po ito at nabasa ko nga po na ngayong 2026 funded po ito sa budget, no? Kaya naman habang kulang po tayo sa guidance counselors, we must focus on the hiring of school counselor associate positions which is funded under the 2026 budget. Sana po'y ma-implement na po ito. Huwag na tayo mag-antay na maulit pa ito. Paulit-ulit na lang po itong pangyayari sa mga eskwelahan. This Congress, I likewise filed Senate Bill number 176, which proposes the establishment of mental health offices in all public higher education institutions nationwide to provide accessible counseling services, trained mental health professionals, and 24/7 mental health hotlines for students. Sa usapin naman po ng peace and order, I would like to reiterate that the government should also explore whether there is a need for a more visible police and law enforcement presence in our schools, keeping in mind that any security measure must fully respect and uphold academic freedom while ensuring that our schools remain safe spaces. At the same time, Mr. President, I filed Senate Bill 2413. Ito po yung the Safe Schools and Violence Prevention Bill, which seeks to establish national standards for a comprehensive safe schools framework. The proposed measure will include mandatory school safety plans and annual risk assessments covering not only shootings and other acts of violence but also bullying, fires, disasters, and emergency medical situations.